Hello, my name is Caroline Young and I'm the Apprenticeship Programmes Manager for Channel Training. We thought we'd do a few video shorts to help you navigate the apprenticeship processes, and this one is all about the review process. This is a vital element of the apprenticeship programme, giving the learner the three-way, that's us, yourselves and them, the support that they need to achieve. It's also part of the Department for Education, DfE, funding rules agreed between us and yourselves when you sign the training plan upon the commencement of the apprenticeship. The funding rules state that regular tripartite reviews will take place between yourselves and us and the learners to review progress on previous targets set, reflect on off-the-job training planned in the ILP, that's the individual training plan, in the previous months, and set them for the forthcoming off-the-job training and goals in the upcoming months. At Channel Training, we blend both virtual and face-to-face review points throughout the apprenticeship, and they're all carried out on OneFile. There is another video short on the use of OneFile specifically, so if you need to find out about that aspect, do go and look at that. Typically, we do a short tripartite review after the 2 weeks on programme online using the OneFile to set up to check yourselves and your learner have understood all of the setup processes, logins, expectations, which we did during the face-to-face induction. This will also finalise the first 4 months of the ILP, individual learning plan, and you'll need to be online for that meeting. Reviews then take place regularly every 8 weeks using OneFile. At the 4, 8 and 11 month review points, you will again need to be online or possibly in person if the tutor happens to be at your centre at that particular point in time, for that tripartite review meeting of learners, looking at their ILP, looking back at the previous month's planned out off-the-job training, discussing what was covered, what was learned, any gaps for forthcoming planned off-the-job training in the following 3 to 4 months. As an individual learning plan, we'd like as much as possible for that learner to lead those sessions, thinking about the goal setting and reviewing previous ones that have been met or not met, and we'd like that to be in the learner's voice as much as possible. So the Channel Training tutor will be in touch prior to those tripartite ILP reviews, and best practice would be for you to set up a meeting with your apprentice preparatory to the ILP review, and discuss, where you're going next with their programme of learning. The signing of the review on OneFile at these points then confirms the ILP, and thus the learner's training plan is current and agreed by all. Between these points, the reviews will happen on OneFile without the need for you to be present. However, you're still required to input to the review process in order to give the learner that all-round feedback from all the stakeholders. Channel Training tutors will complete the review on OneFile, which will then automatically get sent to the learner to read and comment and sign, and then it automatically gets sent to you for the same. So now on screen, what I'm going to do is show you an example of a review, so you can see how you would see it as an employer. So we've got our spoof employer Charlie Coach here, and what happens is you would have a task, so you can either see it in the shortcut task here or in the tasks bar. So if you click on that, it says please sign the review for Charlotte Training, so that should automatically come through to your emails. So if you click on the blue bit, then you can see the first couple of sections off the job progress. You can see that Charlotte has added to her off the job training planned, and you can also see that progress since the last review. So she's gone up 10%, which is lovely. And the achievement between reviews, it actually tells you that she was largely doing written questions, number 7 and number 8. The next section is the progress on actions from the last review. So looking at the SMART targets that were set at the previous review and whether they've been achieved partially, completely, not at all. The next section, progress summary, is more sort of data-led, how the apprentice is getting on with their apprenticeship. The overall completion to date shows the sort of percentage completion, maybe comparing it to their last review, and the next line shows it compared to where we'd expect them to be at given their time on programme. And as it says there, we'd sort of expect that number to be sort of 70% by the time they get to the end of their apprenticeship, because the last 30% is for their mock endpoint assessment, EPA, and their actual EPA. Off-the-job training gives a percentage as to how much off-the-job training the learner has logged. As you're aware, that should be around 6 hours a week as a sort of a standard, although that could be front-loaded if they've done lots of courses when they first signed up. We offer a huge amount of off-the-job training, more than the minimum, so which is why the minimum percentage that learner should have logged by the end of their time on programme should be around 65%. But if they take up all the opportunities that we offer, then that number would be bigger. The scorecards is where we ask the learners to rate themselves, their own personal confidence, on all the knowledge, skills and behaviour criteria of the standard. And it gives us an idea as to which areas that they might need some extra input on, which might allow us to signpost them on the wider curriculum courses or the value-added webinars to things to address those gaps in learning. So some of those resources are in that resources tab, and every fortnight during non-peak season, we have value-added webinars which the learners can sign into and get some online learning. And then there's a summary of the tasks that are pending and whether they've got observations due and whether there's any health and safety that has been covered in the recent weeks. The next area is personal development, and that personal development might come from you, some feedback from you, or indeed from groups that they've had in, from emails, so the softer skills side of things. And while we appreciate that not all learners have to do functional skills in order to achieve their apprenticeship, we should always be trying to develop our maths and our English. So there's an opportunity there to signpost learners to things that might be relevant in the workplace for the maths and English development. The next area is SMART targets to be set for the next till the next review, so for the next 8-week period, and then that's what the review would look like. If I just scroll down a little bit, the learner has already commented on this review and said that they've read the comments from the tutor, and then this is your area that you would add into your points of view in terms of feedback for the learner. So for example, the first box, what does the apprentice know or can do now that they wouldn't do in the previous? You could add how they've got on in the last 8 weeks from your point of view. And then looking forward, what do they need to develop over the coming months in regards to their skills, knowledge and behaviour? So again, you can type your feedback in there. We do need to know of any accidents or incidents. Obviously, if there haven't been any, then that's fine. And likewise, any large absences, please make sure that you inform us of that. And lastly, it's really helpful for us, you know, in terms of developing workforce, if you can give us an idea as to how the apprentice is adding to your organisation's aims. And as this is an 8-week review, the training plan presumably hasn't been discussed and reviewed, so that would be a non-applicable at that time. You can then see the channel training tutor's feedback to the learner and the learner's feedback to the tutor, and then this is your opportunity to put your feedback in, which hopefully would be fuller than this. You can't type quite quick enough. Then you sign that review and click save, and that's the review process over. So hopefully that has been useful for you. If you do need any other information about reviews and expectations on reviews, please do get into contact with either myself or any of the channel training tutors, and we can help you from there. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.